What's up, guys? With your fourth stimulus check update and daily news update, we've got three frightening stats that show exactly why a fourth stimulus check is needed, news unemployment cliff, and the possibility of a September unemployment extension. All the details in today's video. But first, I just want to say welcome back to all my subscribers. I really appreciate you guys. And for those who are brand new to the channel, we cover all things personal finance, US economy, personal finance, and of course, stimulus check updates and stimulus package updates. And we love just talking about stimulus and money here. And we definitely love it when you light up the like button. It really shows your love and support for the community. And let's go ahead and jump right in. Hold on to your seats, guys. There are three frightening stats right now of why a fourth stimulus check is definitely needed. 17%. This is the decline in income in households who are currently experiencing food insecurity or housing insecurity during the second quarter of 2021. Now, we're talking about households who do not have enough money for housing or food, and they are the least able to absorb a huge decline in their income. Now, unfortunately, that's exactly what they experienced as the cash help from stimulus check payments earlier in the year ended. Now, I really don't know how to tell you any better, but 17% income cuts, that's going to put a lot of Americans in even more risk. 9%. This is the decline in consumer spending in the second quarter compared to the first quarter. People were spending a lot more money when they received their stimulus checks, and they've cut their expenditures because payments have stopped. Unfortunately, that decline in consumer spending can result in a slower economic recovery, which hurts everyone. Now, we already saw some of that hurt with the miserable jobs report last week and the scary Delta numbers. They are still on their way to the sky. 9.4%. This is what the personal savings rate dropped to in the second quarter of 2021. It's down from a height of 26.9% in the first quarter. During the first part of the year, Americans were able to put aside more money to protect against future financial hardships and build a more secure future. This was largely due to stimulus check payments. Now that those stimulus payments have ended, the personal savings rate has fallen dramatically, suggesting people have to spend much more of their cash just to stay afloat. Now, with these numbers, it is definitely not hard to argue for a fourth and even a fifth stimulus check, right? As the press release accompanying the survey stated, despite the economy reopening post-lockdowns, most household incomes remain flat, savings rates are stagnant, and spending declined slightly for most categories. Overall, this reinforced financial health inequities for low-income households and those experiencing hardships and could forecast further divergence in the latter half of the year. If lawmakers want economic conditions to improve and don't want to leave the hardest hit Americans to fall further behind, these numbers should be a wake-up call that a fourth stimulus check really may be desperately needed for those struggling. Drop a comment down below, guys, if you guys can relate to these stats. Are you feeling the struggle right now? What's your situation like? Hit me up in the comments, please. Here, just take a look at what President Biden said when he was talking about the third stimulus check way back in December 2020.
Will your plan include a new round of stimulus checks to the American people? And if
Yes.
so, for how much?
Well, look, that's a negotiating issue, but it will. Yes, it will. And I think, by the way, I think we owe Bernie Sanders and his Republican colleagues thanks for getting not all the stimulus we looked for, 1,200, but getting 600 done. So I think you're seeing that there is a clear understanding that these issues go beyond any ideology. People are desperately hurting, and the Republicans are hurting as badly as Democrats.
Now, just a disclaimer, guys, this is from December 2020. President Biden was talking about the third stimulus check. I just wanted that to be clear. But still, look at what he said. These issues go beyond any ideology. People are desperately hurting, and the Republicans are hurting as badly as the Democrats. Like what our stats show, President Biden's statement is still true to this day. Income, savings, and spending, they're all down. Not to mention new jobs numbers are doing miserably. Thanks to Delta, the leisure and hospitality sector did not add any net new jobs in August, as a 42,000 job decline in restaurants and bars wiped out a 36,000 job gain in arts and entertainment. Employment in retail, also hard-hit sector, also fell by 29,000 thanks to steep losses at grocery stores and building materials and garden supply stores. One economist stresses the point that Delta is reducing consumer demand and threatening the reopening. Ultimately, it's just a harsh reminder that it has control of our destiny. And let's not forget about Biden saying a weak jobs report makes clear need for more stimulus. Now, as he said with the weak jobs report back in April, we can't let up. The jobs report makes that clear. We've got too much work to do. We have to build back better. Now, this is where a fourth stimulus check would actually really fit into the picture. In March, Researchers at Columbia estimated that the United States poverty rate would fall to 8.5%, the lowest figure on record and well below 2018's figure of 12.8%. Now, this is largely due to all of the stimulus in the latest stimulus package, most especially the $1,200 third stimulus check. Now, another study, this time from researchers at the Urban Institute, found that in 2021, poverty would be around 7.7%. That's almost half of 2018's rate of 13.9%. This also means 2021 is projected to have the lowest poverty rate on record. Bottom line here really is this. Poverty in 2021 will be much lower than it was in 2018, and it will be lower largely because of the anti-poverty programs, mainly all the stimulus checks. All in all, reducing poverty is pretty simple. Just put more money in people's hands. Yeah, you'll have naysayers commenting, this will make people not want to work. Really, years of research suggested that this is not true. A major report from a group of economists and sociologists specializing in child poverty found that a cash benefit of $3,000 per year for all but the richest children would reduce work effort by 1.15 hours a week on average. That's in a week. About 14 minutes a day in a 5-day work week and 10 minutes in a 7-day work. A University of Pennsylvania review of the effects of cash programs concluded that our fear that people will quit their jobs en masse if provided with cash for free is false and misguided. Let me ask you guys something really quickly. If you receive $2,000 a month in stimulus checks, let's just say for the rest of your life, would you quit your job and attempt to just purely live off of your $2,000 per month? Or would you keep working and build some financial cushion for yourself, maybe even start investing or start taking trips? I would love to hear from you guys because the data actually says that people would not just quit their jobs. But I'd love to hear from you guys. But it's crazy how lawmakers are not seeing this. But really, guys, all of this proves #poverty is a policy choice. The federal government can literally make the poverty rate whatever it likes. It can continue reducing poverty year after year, even after the over. It just needs to make that choice. And that's exactly what some lawmakers are saying to justify a fourth stimulus check and even recurring stimulus checks. Now, the latest letter to President Biden from the House Ways and Means Committee pointed out how the latest $1,400 stimulus checks alone would keep 11 million people out of poverty this year. Fourth and fifth stimulus check could keep an additional 12 million people out of poverty. Now, you combine that with the effects of the American Rescue Plan. Direct payments could reduce the number in poverty in 2021 from 44 million to 16 million people. And that's why they're pushing for tying recurring direct payments and automatic UI extensions to economic conditions. Now, together with them on this are the 80 plus lawmakers, 156 top economists, and 2.8 million signatures. That last one's from the change.org petition for recurring stimulus checks. Like the letter to President Biden, the petition says it took 9 months for Congress to send a second stimulus check and just moments to spend it. Moving forward, Congress needs to make recurring stimulus checks automatic if certain triggers are met. Definitely sign me up for that one. So far, we have different Congress proposals on our stimulus check watch list. There's Representative Ilhan Omar's proposal for a federal guaranteed basic income program. Now, this means a countrywide program that would give up to $1,200 per month for adults and $600 per month for kids. Now, that's definitely going to be a bigger project. So for the here and now, here's this straightforward Automatic Boost to Communities Act from Representative Rashida Tlaib. This ABC Act would give out $2,000 fourth stimulus checks and follow up with $1,000 monthly stimulus checks until 1 year after And for the biggest of them all, there's the House resolution to end poverty from Representatives Pramila Jayapal and Barbara Lee. Now, this one includes stimulus checks via cash assistance, in addition to a minimum wage increase, expanded unemployment insurance, canceling of debt, and public housing, not to mention free education. So of course, we're hoping that any one of these proposals actually gets passed, or even a watered down version would be very helpful. Don't miss one stimulus check update. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and tap the magic notification bell. More stimulus news coming in this one. The unemployment cliff plus news of the unemployment extension. Just stay right there. Now, our latest newsletter is up, guys. We've done the research for you. In the past 24 months, curfews, lockdowns, restrictions, self-isolations, stay-at-home orders, and mask mandates, they've literally changed the job market for good. Millions of people were laid off, and entire households collapsed, and children have been left to starve. Sad to say, but I've seen firsthand the calamity and suffering of hardworking Americans whose children are afraid for their future. And it's only going to get worse with unemployment running out and stimulus money still a little bit far off. And this is exactly why I want to give you guys the 20 best ways to generate extra income today. Learn all about the new normal, and most importantly, how you can reinvent yourselves financially. Just hit the link in the pinned comment down below to download your free copy. All of our loyal community members, definitely go check it out. 20 different income generation ideas. 90% of them can be implemented from home. So go ahead and download your 20 income generation ideas and let me know what you think. Link in the description down below. And speaking of unemployment, more than 9 million Americans are set to lose unemployment benefits, and millions more will see their weekly incomes take a nosedive as federal jobless aid programs expire next week. 3 programs covering a combined 12.1 million people will end on Monday without action from the White House or Congress. 5.4 million gig workers, contractors, and others not covered by the traditional insurance will lose their weekly benefits early next week. Another 3.9 million Americans receiving extended aid will see those payments disappear on Monday as well. And a separate 3.9 million programs leaving with substantially less money. On top of that, the August jobs report released on Friday showed a significant slowdown in the rate of hiring, including a tougher job market in September. President Biden, moderate Democrat lawmakers, and virtually all Republicans have argued that it's time for additional support to expire after several months of rapid job growth up until August and inflation lingering at uncomfortable heights. But let's take a moment to see exactly what the data has to say.
Good morning, Andrew. Yeah, data from 2 HR software companies followed closely by Wall Street, by the way. They track the jobs market. It shows that ending the $300 extended unemployment benefit has had no measurable effect on job growth. In fact, the states that kept the benefit showed better job growth in July. Both UKG and Homebase Wall Street forecasters increasingly turn to them for real-time data on the jobs market. They showed that job growth in the 26 states that ended the benefits trailed those states that kept the benefit in July. Homebase reported a strong 2.5% increase in hours worked and a 2.3% gain in employees for July for those states that kept the benefit. States that eliminated it, well, they saw declines in both categories. Over at UKG, Dave Gilbertson writes, states continuing the additional benefit grew workforce activity in July 2 times faster than states that stopped the benefit. Now, hold on, because there's an explanation here. One explanation, states that kept the benefit already had stronger job growth. Blue states generally had more job loss last year, and so they've seen stronger job growth this year with the ending of lockdown. Still, they maintain that edge and put more people to work, even while keeping the benefit in place. Now, the positive impact of ending the benefit, it could have shown up in other ways. Here's what McDonald's CEO Chris Kempinski said in the company's earnings call.
We're seeing applications have increased pretty significantly. Applications in states that have ended early the federal stimulus, those have tended to do even better. So I do think that there's evidence that as the federal stimulus rolls off, that you'll see an improvement in the application rate.
But when it comes to actual jobs, there are several academic studies from the previous recessions showing little or just marginal impact from ending or keeping those extended benefits. The current data back up the idea. The decision to take a job amid it just won't quit, well, it's more complicated than whether or not one's receiving a $300 check. Andrew?
And so like they said, removing the unemployment pay had no impact on people going back to work. So why remove people's lifeline when it's still smack dab right in the middle of this? Now, just to compare, after the Great Recession in 2008-2009, jobless aid was extended to 99 weeks and lasted through 2013. When that benefits program finally ended, just 1.3 million people were still receiving aid. 1.3 million is definitely a whole lot smaller than the 12.1 million people who are facing the unemployment cliff coming. Now, looking at these numbers makes me feel like there's going to be some definite unemployment news coming in our updates next week. Recently, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen and Labor Secretary Marty Walsh ruled out an extension of jobless benefits beyond the Labor Day expiration. Now, at the same time, though, they opened the door for states to come in and use funding from the $1.9 trillion third stimulus check package to support unemployed workers. According to them, there are some states where it may make sense for unemployed workers to continue receiving additional assistance for a longer period of time, allowing residents of those states more time to find a job in areas where unemployment remains high. Okay, that makes sense. And so what this means is that states can use a part of their slice of the $350 billion in state and local aid included in the March stimulus bill to be able to find supplements for unemployment benefits amounts. We've already seen states use their aid money to fund other stimulus programs like state stimulus checks, hazard pay incentives. Remember the lottery? They can definitely add unemployment to the mix. So check out our previous videos through the playlist section of our channel. We made it super easy and grouped the videos according to your favorite topics like the fourth stimulus check updates, credit card hacks, Social Security, you name it. Check the space out right after this video. Also, don't forget to download your 20 income generation ideas that you can implement right now remotely from your home. But anyway, guys, that was your fourth stimulus check update and daily news update. 3 frightening stats to show exactly why a fourth stimulus check is needed. We covered news on Monday's unemployment cliff and the possibility of September unemployment extension. So, don't forget to share this video with your friends and your loved ones. Don't forget to download your 20 income generation ideas. Link in the description down below, as well as in a pinned comment. And I will see you guys on the next one. Take care and be safe. The next one, take care and be safe. The next one.